Okay, so this is the first video episode of the Sci Fi Maker Show. And I have the theme song I can play. You're listening to the Sci Fi Maker Show, the show for science fiction fans who want to create their own science fiction. Fade out. Anyway, I'm Mitch Todd. I'm the normal host. This week, for the first time ever, extra special guest co-host
Charlie Kristine.
Charlie Kristine is joining me. Now, I'm sure most of you have never listened to the Sci Fi Maker podcast, so I'll start by telling everyone what the show's about. What I said in the beginning, it's for science fiction fans who want to create their own science fiction. So maybe they want to write books or short stories. Maybe they want to create a comic book or a graphic novel. Maybe they want to make videos or even movies. Maybe they're just but maybe they're an artist who wants to create science fiction art, or they could be doing video games, or maybe they create science fiction costumes or props, or maybe they do special effects for science fiction projects, or just any kind of thing science fiction-y that I haven't even thought of. So if someone has an idea for a kind of science fiction I haven't thought of, you can let us know during the show.
Inventing cool gadgets.
Cool gadgets that are
That's my fetish. Cool shit.
Okay. I did not know that.
I love the gadgets. They're awesome. That's the fun part. Not in the weird movies.
Which iPhone do you have?
An old one. No, I have the 6, but
okay.
I'm bummed because, I got it because my other one, the battery got big.
Okay.
I know.
I'm still on the 5.
And now the 7's coming out, and I'm like, man, I just invested.
You'll have to buy another one.
Totally.
You just have to work more.
No.
Yeah. Thank goodness you've got so much extra time you can do some more, squeeze a little bit more work into it.
Busy people get stuff done.
The first show, I'll talk a little bit about the show. The first episode, I just talked about what the show's about, which is what we're doing now. The second show, I interviewed Bennett Litwin. He is a filmmaker in the Dallas area. He is creating a science fiction comedy called Frackers. And they are, I think, Soul Frackers, Frackers. I did the interview with him some time ago. I was at his house when they were filming the first trailer for the movie, and I had a really tiny non-speaking role in it.
Were you an alien?
I'm not sure what I was. I'm not sure where we were.
What were you wearing?
Probably this shirt.
Were you part of the crowd? Were you running?
It was a crowd scene.
Was it like Soylent Green?
No, it was a crowd scene, though. There were a bunch of us. When I got there, there was a very attractive young actress in a bikini on top of the water in a swimming pool, and they were filming that. And apparently that was the special effect for the scene I'm in. Like I said, this is just the trailer. So we are in a room. There's a whole bunch of us like staring at this hologram.
Okay.
Which is her, but we can't see her. But I guess in the finished product you will.
We're pretending we see her.
Yeah, we're pretending.
That could be a really hot looking chick in your head. Could be kind of disappointing when the outcome comes.
No, she's very pretty.
So the actress herself you met.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you had someone already to fantasize about.
Yeah. Actually, if you go to sci-fi-maker.com and go in the podcasts for episode 2, you will see a picture of her in the white bikini in the swimming pool. I think, I could be wrong, but I think I've got that in there. But principal photography, I think, is tentatively scheduled for November up in the Plano area. I think they're going to be filming a bunch of different places. I don't really know that much about it. Bennett is a very talented writer. I think he hired some crew out of Los Angeles for this. This is not a little backyard production. These guys are...
So it's going to premiere at a film festival?
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
That would be fun. We could do a show where we could carry our computer around our little camera.
We should follow them around to all the film festivals.
I want to interview the aliens.
Okay. And then, so anyway, that we're going to be following up as they work on the film. I'll be going out there and shooting pictures and video and interviewing everybody. Right now, I've only interviewed Bennett for that was episode 2. Episode 3, I interviewed a cosplayer, a very popular cosplayer, Crystal Starr. She's in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I met her 2 or 3 years ago. I think the first costume I saw her in was the evil queen in Snow White with the apple.
Oh, yeah.
And she tried to give me the apple, so I don't know if...
I don't know what that meant.
Well, it was poison, I think.
That's messed up.
That's messed up. But she'll wear...
Was that like the equivalent of like the middle finger getting an erection?
I don't know.
Here's my poison apple.
Oh, well, I don't know. I don't know. But she will change outfits during the day. She might have 2 or 3 different outfits when she goes to a Comic-Con. This was at a Comic-Con. I think the picture I have of her on the Sci Fi Maker website is her rocket raccoon. Sorry, not squirrel. Rocket raccoon from Guardians of the Galaxy. It's a really cool little picture. It's a really cool outfit that she created for, I think it was a Comic-Con Fan Appreciation Day. She has, I think, at this point, over 100 different outfits that she has created. So she doesn't go and buy a costume at a Halloween store. She makes her own, but she talks about shortcuts that she makes so that she can do it very, very quickly. And her costumes are all awesome.
I need a cosplay outfit. I don't have one.
You were Wonder Woman, weren't you?
I've been Wonder Woman before. But I mean, don't they like invent like new characters now?
Well, see, that's what I think people ought to, maybe some of the people rather than...
I mean, because there's a lot of copyright issues. So like, meaning the costume designers can't massively produce stuff that's actually called the official name.
Right.
They'll get sued.
Well, there are people who will make prints that they sell at shows and stuff like that. So I'm not an attorney, but you're probably on shaky ground, but I don't think the studios are going after anybody. But
I mean, if you have a homemade one, then that's another thing.
Well, yeah.
And it's like, you're not trying to make a profit on it.
Well, maybe you start by doing cosplay of existing characters, and then you start creating your own characters and costumes for that.
Yeah. I don't know. I have a theory that the new generation spends so much time playing like these awesome video games and stuff that their fantasies are those hot chicks that they're seeing in the video games. And I think that women are going to start, switching over from competing to like the Playboy people versus they're going to switch to these video gamers. I think cosplay is going to get taken way more into the bedroom.
I hope so.
I totally think so.
But I've met a lot of women who do the cosplay. If they could do the cosplay 24/7, they would.
I totally agree. I think that they up and came that way.
And some of
there's going to be more of them.
Some of them dress up in video game characters for video games that they play and are really good at.
I mean, what kind of effect is it going to have on cosmetic procedures and stuff? Are people going to start wanting to be looking a little more like the characters? I mean, I'm not thinking they want a scroll face on, but I'm thinking maybe,
I have a feeling.
I want to be this warrior princess.
I think some people have already done that. I'm sure that if we were to Google it, we'd find
We need to Google and find pictures and see if
I'll look that up.
Know. That would be fun. That'd be interesting.
We will look that up. I know there are a lot of people who almost live these characters that they're dressed up as.
Is that going to be a new show in Vegas too, where we're going to start seeing like how they have like the impersonators of actors now? Are we going to get the impersonators that are really good of cosplay?
Well, you see the ones out on the sidewalks on the strip.
I totally think so.
Where it's like $20 to have your picture taken with a stormtrooper, or
I think I'd love it. I totally attacked. They had a what's he called? A transformer. And it was and he was all standing out there in front of the Bellagio. And I mean, they're like great energy. How could you not want your picture taken with them?
There is actually, cosplay has become so popular. There is already at least one print magazine. I have it over there. I won't grab it, but
it's huge.
You can find it at the grocery store. It's not like a little niche magazine you can only find at some special newsstand. It is at the grocery store.
I totally believe that. It should be more places than that. It's so popular.
Now, one thing I like to do, and I use this to promote the website and the podcast, is I like to do photo shoots with cosplayers.
Yeah.
Men and women. Most of them are women, but I think I don't know. It's hard to tell if more and more men are getting into it or if women are just taking it over. I can't really tell. But it's a lot of fun. And there's a website called Geek X Girls, and I did a shoot a few months ago, and they featured it on their website, and then I shot another cosplayer 3 weeks ago and submitted that to Geek X Girls, and they've accepted that. So in about a month or so, they're going to publish those. That it's good publicity for us, but it's also fun for the cosplayers because they get some hopefully really cool pictures. Plus, I enjoy doing that kind of photography.
We need to totally get them on the show. Then we need to make me a costume and get me on the show in my costume.
We need to find.
I need a homemade costume. I mean, that's like huge. Tulsa, when I go there, like everyone asks, that's a big job thing for me.
We'll have to figure that out.
They always ask if I have a character I play, and I'm like, I'll play whatever character you want. You guys behave your thoughts on that. But I'm like, I'll play whatever character you want. What do you want to strap me up in? So they come up with some fun get-ups. It's fun.
I'll find something. I'll find something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. The cosplay thing is pretty cool. The costumes that come from it, or that will evolve out of it, I think it will be kind of interesting to see what people come up with. I'm noticing one thing that a lot of the cosplayers are doing is creating their own props now. So maybe they were focused on their outfits.
They're so talented.
And now they're doing props to go with it, which is usually like their weapon.
Well, they got all sorts of, I don't know. I've just seen some really cool stuff. Like it's just magic, these cool pieces, and I don't know. They get really into it. I've seen like the welded body casting things that are shiny and reflective, and you wear them, and it's kind of like a corset-y. It's like something She-Ra would have worn, you know, she's badass.
I think with the new Star Wars movie, we're going to see a lot of new outfits to go with that. But I mean, it's every science fiction film.
Totally.
And if you haven't been to a science fiction convention, you really ought to go. It's amazing the kinds of outfits that you're going to see people that people are going to be wearing. I'm just more and more impressed. I actually remember going to one a week after Guardians of the Galaxy came out, and some guy was dressed up as Groot, and it looked like the character. Maybe I would even say, I think I've got his picture. I think I put it on my Instagram. He looked better than the Groot in the movie. Yeah. He was really, really tall, stayed in character. And I mean, it looked amazing. And like I said, it was about a week after the movie. Now, I guess he had seen some previews from the movie, so he didn't have to wait for the movie before he could start on the character. But yeah, there's a lot going on there. I'm really interested in seeing what people are doing. I met a guy in Dallas. I think I still have his contact information. He does dragon wings.
That's cool.
And so they're articulated. They're made of, there's a metal skeleton, exoskeleton, and like you put them on dogs and other stuff, and they move, they open up and they flap a little bit.
That's pretty awesome.
I hope I'm going to try to get in touch with him. I think I still have his contact information, but there are people like that all over the place that you don't know about. And that's one of the things I want to do with the show is feature these people.
We got to track them down.
We will track them down.
If one of you guys invented some wings, let's go, baby. Let's go fly. I tried that out. I was a butterfly once for Halloween, and I remember my sister had me convinced that you could fly with these wings. And so we were out running and jumping, and she's like, if you go fast enough and you flap your shoulders, it'll happen. And like, anyhow, yeah, I jumped off something I shouldn't have jumped off of. I couldn't fly.
Was this last year?
I know. Yeah, it was yesterday. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, we've got Halloween coming up, so I need to start looking.
I was going to be a yellow butterfly, dang it.
Let's see.
Somebody has invented one that probably flies for real.
Well, they have. Yes, they have.
Pretty cool.
There's a movie coming out. It's a remake of Point Blank, I think, and they're doing some of those. How real those outfits are that they're flying in, I don't know. How much of it is special effect?
You know what, though? It takes imagination to come up with the neat stuff that's being made today. I mean, people think of some crazy things. Who would think, hey, let's have a bus with wings, and now you got an airplane that's like so normal that nobody talks about it. I mean, right? So, and the cars that drive themselves, and I mean, we have so much awesome stuff. Or the wireless chargers they have coming out for cell phones. I mean, I'm so tired of losing my cell phone charger, and now they're putting them into your suitcase so that your suitcase is a hotspot and a charger. Like, that's awesome.
Science fiction and real life, they're coming together fast.
It takes imagination, but it's happening. What a time to be alive. Pretty cool.
So show number 3, moving on.
Oh, go.
Just so we don't take forever. Show number 3, I interviewed Oh, that was Crystal. Okay. That's Crystal Star was the third one, was the cosplaying. Fourth show that will be coming out tomorrow or Monday, Labor Day, officially, is a web series called Party Girl. And it's about a high school student who is a secret superhero. And the creator and writer of the show, his name is BJ Lewis. And the actress who plays Party Girl is Kate Poole, Cait. I've got information about all these on the website. If you go to sci-fi-maker.com, click on the podcast link, you'll find links for all this stuff. They are, if I'm not mistaken, they have shot and edited the first 2 years of the show, the first 2 seasons, and they're working on the 3rd season, but right now they're releasing episodes from the 2nd season. So they're trying to stay a little bit ahead. Kate Poole is the 2nd Party Girl. They had another actress play in the 1st season. I think Kate is still with the show. BJ is a very enthusiastic guy. It's amazing what he's done. The locations that they're shooting, the stunts that they're doing. It's a very, very involved production. Like I said, it's a web series, very ambitious. I'm anxious to see how the show does. My background is doing video as well. As a matter of fact, we did a video. I can tell you a little bit about, I don't want to give the ending away, but
it was happy.
It was good. Got it. I got it.
I'll have to watch.
I know. But Charlie plays, and Charlie is an actress in it, and it's called, the working title is First Date with an Alien. We shot it a little over a month ago. I have not edited it yet because I've been busy getting this show together, but I want to get it edited as quickly as I can so that I can share it with everyone. In other words, I'm not just going to talk about these different people. I'm going to be creating my own science fiction and put it out there, because the purpose of the show is really, I've got 3 things I'm trying to accomplish with the show. So the first thing I want to do with Sci-Fi Maker is make it a resource for people who want to create their own science fiction, no matter what it is. So I interview a filmmaker or an artist or a writer or someone who does costumes. I want them to not just explain what they're doing. I want them to help the people who are listening to the show or watching the show, if we're doing a video, so that they can start doing it. I want to get the people who are the science fiction fans, take them to the next level, so now they're actually creating their own science fiction. And I want to, one of the things we're seeing, by the way, on that is it's okay to suck when you start. The first thing you do is probably not going to be awesome.
You just get it out.
But just do it.
Get it out.
Just do it. Learn from it. Or something that you do that you think is awesome when you make it and you put it out there and you keep doing it and you get better and better. And then a year or 2 later, you look back at what you did and go, yeah, maybe that wasn't so great, but it was still a lot of fun. But I really want to encourage more people. I want to be a resource so that people are creating more science fiction.
It's about the journey. There you go.
There we go.
Right?
It is actually,
no mistakes.
I say it's about the adventure.
I like it.
It's about the adventure, but journey is good too.
Totally.
The second thing I want it to be is, well, it's selfish. I want more people making science fiction so that there's more cool science fiction to consume. I want to see cooler movies and videos. Musicians. Maybe people are writing music for a science fiction film, or maybe, look at the love we're getting.
Aw.
You see all those little
What are those little creatures on the
those
screen?
Are me. No, is that Gary? That's Gary. Is that the pickle? I think that's the podcast pickle is what I was saying. Yes.
Why are you showing us your pickle?
No, he says it's always okay. And also, Roundtable Nerds, prop construction is really cool. There's some fantastic replicas. Wireless is nice, just slow in comparison. That is true. I wasn't really paying attention to our comments. JT_Van, Japan cosplayer is unbeatable. Yes, I have seen some of those pictures, and those
girls are out of control. Those girls, they're awesome. I mean, I hear and I've seen pictures of them out on the streets, and their normal day-to-day wear is that costume. Unless they're at work, and at work it's so funny, they're so plain. It's it's like, yeah, total transformation. I love it.
I do
But
too.
they wear it at the grocery store. They're like carrying their baskets around, and they're just that is them. They are that character. It's
awesome.
I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. If you're into science fiction, this is a pretty cool time to be consuming it. But like I said, I want to encourage more people to actually be making it. The third reason, so number one, be a resource. Number two, encourage more people to make it so I get to see more cool science fiction. Number three, we want to help build a community of sci-fi makers. I've created a group on Facebook. I don't have the link. It's a closed group. You have to get approved by me.
Have you seen Firefly Fan Made Short? The Firefly Fan Made Short. What's that one?
I have not seen it. I'm pro Firefly. Firefly might be the greatest show that was ever on TV.
I'm going to have to get caught up on that one.
Well, I showed you sort of something related. The last time you were here, we watched Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog.
Oh, that was funny.
Yeah, see that there are a lot of it was the same creative team and one actor. I think just Captain Mal, but
that was funny. They did a good job.
They did, yeah.
I love home videos like that and stuff. I mean, it's kind of campy, but they're just good. They're funny. I mean, if you want to get it, you get it, and it's great, and it's just, yeah.
Good.
It's fun.
He put a link to the YouTube video so we can watch that later.
Thank you.
Thank you, JT_Van.
He's like on his game. You know what's up.
That's awesome. No, I'm looking forward to seeing it. Anything Firefly. Although I have to.
Nice little Sunday flick.
I missed it when it was on TV because the show name, I think the title hurt it from a marketing standpoint. People were like Firefly. It's like,
I just didn't know what it was. I mean, I travel a lot, so I'm like the car rental place.
Yeah, you've got Firefly
or that gadget we just saw, which is the weird little creepy camera that are the dragonflies.
Yeah, that's kind of scary.
Yeah, that was kind of scary.
That's kind of scary. In any event, I've created a Facebook group. It's a closed Facebook group. Mm-hmm. If you go to sci-fi-maker.com, I don't remember exactly where I have it. I meant to put the resources on the main page, but if you look on if you look around on the website, you'll find the links to all of our social media, the normal Facebook fan page, the group, the private group, which is where I'd like to see people come together. So let's say, I'd like to make a science fiction short, like my new idol Mitch, who does that podcast. Well, maybe you're a writer, but if you're part of a community, maybe you can find someone who's really good at shooting video.
No, it's a great way to collaborate and have, available trading resources.
Exactly.
A great working network, a tool that's affordable, and you could then share samples of each other's work and then decide if it's going to work out to meet up and create something fantastic.
Absolutely.
You can decide if it's going to be a train wreck or it's going to work out, and you can shop along and just,
you're going to make new friends.
Mm-hmm.
Plus what you make is going to end up a lot better than if you had tried to do it all yourself. Because
people have great ideas.
Yes, they do. And they also have a lot of different talents. One of the people I'm wanting to bring on the show, I won't mention his name yet, but he's got a lot of figures from like Star Wars and video games and anime.
Oh, we love that guy.
Yeah.
He shoots all this stuff with macro lens. So it's like, flowers look really cool when they're shot up close. For those of you who don't know photography lenses. And he shoots these little tiny cartoony things that you play with as adults too, but as kids. And they look all real, and he creates these.
He's a grown man.
He creates whole stories with it. It's awesome.
He's a grown man. I've not met him yet. He has a bunch of toys, but he is using those to create, in my opinion, he's creating art. I like it. I like what he's doing. He's got a website. He posts them on Instagram. He's getting more and more followers on Instagram. There's no telling. Maybe he's just doing this for fun. You don't have to create science fiction just to try to make money, to get rich. Although you can meet girls.
So we have a question. What's your favorite sci-fi TV show of all times? Twilight Zone, hands down.
Oh, Twilight Zone's
my very favorite.
That's a good
Nothing
one.
Competes to the Twilight Zone for me. I absolutely love it. And it's kind of campy, and I feel like the scripts on it and the acting is just, I own every single one of them. I own them all. And I know like why there's one that's in black and white and when they changed the camera and why they tried it and the trends that were going on that time. Fantastic show. Love it.
Yeah, it helps when you have Rod Serling and
He was just
Richard Matheson writing.
Really good. Really good. And then they always had star actors and actresses, and it was a privilege to get to be invited on the
Robert Redford
show.
was on the show.
Yeah, so they always gave their all. It was a really big deal for them to be on it, and the twists and it was so good. And
Okay, see, I would not have thought to
my
say
favorite.
Twilight Zone, but that might be the best sci-fi show of all time.
He says Stargate. I like Star Trek, but that's because, the next generation, though.
Yeah,
Except for the Furbies. The Furbies from the Tribbles.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, see, when I was
the trouble with Tribbles.
When I was a little kid, and the original Star
Trek
came out, I couldn't understand it, but I thought it was cool because Spock's ears was enough for me. And then I got older and I noticed that the women wore short dresses, and I had another interest in the show.
He likes Stargate. Did you see Stargate?
I liked the movie and a lot, and I have not really watched the show. I
watched a couple of the show, and it just didn't quite grab me, but I might have just caught the wrong show. So.
Yeah, or sometimes you're in for whatever reason, your mood's not there, and then you see it later and go, why didn't I think this was the greatest thing in the world?
Someone will show me what caught them, and then I'm like on board all the way. I mean, but all of them can be kind of like, what? Or maybe you're just not in the right frame of mind when you see it.
And is that the Foxtails?
Stargate got me when it was off air. Yeah, that would probably be it. Yeah, a lot of those shows you can buy them now, which is I love that. Oh my god! Except for then you have like this never ending. You have to watch every single one of them, and so you don't get any sleep. It's like you're dating for the first time, and you're up for 4 days watching it.
I didn't see Firefly.
Let's have an all-nighter.
I finally saw Firefly. I think I saw an episode a year or two after it was off the air, and I was so impressed with the show, just one episode, that I bought the Blu-ray box set. So the first time I saw it was on my Blu-ray box set. So I missed the show too. It
was called Quantum Leap.
Oh, Quantum Leap.
Do you remember Quantum Leap?
That was a really good show.
Loved Quantum Leap. It got me. I'm into quantum physics. So when I was watching that, it just like way grabbed my eye. I loved it. And that was an older show. And then they came out with another one called like Leap or something, and it just wasn't the same.
Sliders. See, Sliders is based.
He likes Quantum Leap too. Yeah, it was good.
Quantum Leap was good. It was.
It had adventure. It had it had action. It had a little bit of like intensity. It had the sci-fi twist, of course, the cool gadgets, the totally thought out realities, and then it had a love story. So
I liked Chuck.
Sliders. He liked Sliders.
Sliders was good. Sliders was good. I liked Chuck when it first came out.
Gary's laughing. Sliders, laughing out loud.
Star Trek Next Generation. I was in graduate school when that came out.
I liked it.
And it was like I'm studying to get a master's in business, which is pretty boring. It wasn't boring. It was actually pretty interesting. But what was interesting was that I noticed that what we were learning in class
ran too long. It did go a long time. Yeah. I think they ran out. I think the writers lost interest in what they were doing. Well, no, I think they ran out of ideas. That's what I kind of got.
Deep Space Nine. I liked it.
Deep Space Nine. It was okay.
The first sci-fi convention I went to, Marina Sirtis, is that how you say her name, from Star Trek Next Generation? She called it Deep Sleep Nine.
Well, I had a crush on Jean-Luc Picard, so that was a little hard for me to get over that was no longer the captain, because I was way into the captain.
Chuck movie needs to happen. Yes.
What's the Chuck movie?
Well, it's based on the TV show Chuck. Was it Chuck?
I don't know
just called Chuck. It was it's a really it was a kid. He worked at the Nerd Herd. He worked on computers. It was like a Best Buy, and he ends up becoming a spy because these special skills and memories were implanted in his brain, and it's kind of hard to explain. It was fun. They kind of ran out of gas near the end, although it went into some interesting directions. X-Files.
Oh, I loved the Lone Gunmen. But I liked the X-Files. I forgot about them. I loved Scully.
So they're making a limited.
I loved the X-Files.
They're doing a series on Stars or something.
Oh, that'll
like 10
be good.
episodes or something,
That'll
or 7
be
or
good.
10.
What's the name of the main actor who was on X-Files?
David Duchovny.
Yeah, he's so yummy. He's yummy.
Californication
I'll watch
is
him
pretty
all
fun.
over. Yeah, no, he's weird in there though. He's a little too weird.
He's
for
a little
me.
bit weird in real life, I think.
I think so too, but he did really good.
Gillian
as a
Anderson,
detective.
yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I like her too.
I like her a lot as well.
Yes, totally agree.
The Lone Gunman was a fun show. I love the three characters. One of them was a writer on the show, as I recall, and or producer.
Are you watching Destiny? Which
I am not.
that?
I have not seen it.
I haven't heard of that one.
See, there's so many really good shows out, but I'm having to do these podcasts and stuff, so I don't get to watch that much TV.
Gary says he likes it a lot.
When does Gary have time to watch TV?
Well, now you can watch it on your watches.
Yeah.
Another cool sci-fi gadget.
I know. I just don't have time to. I don't have time to watch all these shows, and I'd like to create some. Like I said, I want to do. I want to do.
I like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
I like
it a lot. Yeah, I want to. I want to make videos, and it would be cool to do a movie at some point. But my theory is, if you want to make like a science fiction movie, you should start by doing short things and get really, really good at that, because most people who make a movie on their own, they call them backyard films or whatever you want to call them, they're not very good. And so I would say to start, my theory of filmmaking, or my school of filmmaking, as it were, is that before you can make a movie, before you can even make a short film, can you make an interesting shot, a single shot that looks like something from a movie? We have 1, 2, or more characters, and you learn how to light it.
Totally.
You figure out how to get good sound, and literally just a shot, just one shot, not edited, just one. Camera doesn't move, or maybe the camera does move, where you look at that one shot and it looks like something from a really interesting movie. Because until you can make one good shot, because that's the building block of doing a short film or a movie, and most people who are trying to make low budget movies can't. But you can if you stop and say.
No, they can. I think it's really important. You can really affordably audit a class at a local college. I wouldn't do it online because you want to collaborate. And usually in college, everyone's excited and they're willing to collaborate ideas. A lot of the video work that I've done in the past was done through college students, because they have to produce to get their grades and the experience. And they're also interested in what they're doing. But the classes are affordable. You don't have to go in for the grade if you don't want to. And then you can get a good foundation. You're going to meet people who are interested in the same thing you are. You're going to hear what's going on in your community that's supporting that. And you're going to get the part of the college that's collaborative. You might even get like the college I attend has a huge video motion picture studio that Hollywood rents out. And we can use that as students as long as you're signed up. So I think auditing a class is a great idea. You get all the resources available to you if you can't afford them, because you check them out. You have to for your projects. You're meeting people who are interested in acting if you'll act for them, or they know people. I mean, it's a wonderful resource. I really recommend it. I mean, classes I've seen them as cheap as $150, and like I pay $300, and it's a full semester. I mean, twice a week. That's awesome.
Another interesting resource that I have visited in Dallas,
mm-hmm.
A lot of places have what's called a makerspace.
I've seen that.
It is amazing.
Like a co-op, right?
It's like a co-op.
I love it.
It's like the Dallas.
It's awesome.
Dallas has an amazing makerspace. You can Google it if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Oh, Vancouver Film School, the best school for film.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, they're fantastic. That area. I've heard of that school. I have not attended it.
Or you can do the Richard Linklater, who has Austin-based filmmaker.
Yeah. He
went to NYU. I think it was NYU, and he was talking to the students there and asked how much their tuition was, and said, "Wow, if I would have had that money and gone, so you're here for 3-4 years, you're spending all this money." He goes, "If I had that much money in 3 or 4 years, I could have made 4 movies."
Yeah, I mean,
instead of going to school. So
time is money, though, and I think school is the most efficient way to get from point A to point B and get your resources. I mean, that's the nerd in me, but I've figured that out for photography as well.
I mean, I have 3 degrees, so
yeah, me too. What's up?
10 years of college down the drain.
Mine's not down the drain.
Someone else is mentioning that John Doe had an amazing story and got randomly off air. The Pretender of the 2000s. I need to look that up. I wonder, maybe you can answer, is that the John Doe, the musician from X? from the band, the LA band. John Doe, the actor, musician. I'm kind of curious. I'll have to look that up.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are bringing up a lot of interesting material I hadn't considered. Like I said, if someone has ideas for, like I said, one of the things I'm thinking about, not for me personally, I'd like to see science fiction stand-up comedians. In other words, somebody who does stand-up, but their thing is science fiction.
Totally.
So you could go and you could play the sci-fi conventions. You could do A-Con. You could do Dragon Con.
They need like a variety show for it. Like, you know how in Living Color was humor and it was like small skits? They need to do a sci-fi one where it's just quick little, right? Because they're quick. Or like, do you remember the Animaniacs?
Yes, I do.
Do you remember Good Idea, Bad Idea?
I don't remember the specific one. I do
it
remember
is
the Animaniacs.
so funny. I thought it was a crack up when I was a kid. But they need to do it for sci-fi.
This is, Gary, this is what's great about Blab. No spell checking. A-B-O-U-T.
Siri gets me all the time.
Yes, my spell.
She told someone they were very fertile once, and I really meant to write versatile. Yeah, it was a little embarrassing. Thanks, Siri.
You guys are pretty funny. But yeah, let's see. We're at about 37 minutes. I wanted to keep this around half an hour or so. And I definitely want to do some more blabs. I'm going to do, my show's going to be it's a weekly show, and I'm going to try to put them out on Mondays. So I will have the fourth show, the one about Party Girl, out Monday, Labor Day. Because now Gary Leland is the one who told me about Blab and try this. And he's doing this on a couple of shows that he has, maybe 3 shows by now.
We like Gary.
We like awesome. Gary a lot.
Gary's badass.
Yeah, check out GaryLeland.com if you want to find someone who's got a whole lot of free time on his hands. But so anyway, if you do a show on Blab and you're doing an audio podcast, I'm going to take this when we finish this Blab and we stop the recording. For those of you who don't know,
oh, look at the one guy even made sure that he got it right for Gary.
Oh.
Gary Leland. That's nice.
So what you can do is after you do the Blab, if you do a recording, after you stop the recording, a few minutes later, you'll get an email and you can download the video. And then you can also, which is an MP4, I believe. And then you can also download the audio, which is an MP3. So in this case, what I'm going to do a week from now, I'm going to make this the audio podcasts. The MP3 will be on the website. However, this week, I'm going to take this and put it up on YouTube because I have a YouTube channel for Sci Fi Maker. So this will be the first Sci Fi Maker video, although we shot our video a little over a month ago, but it's not done yet, so it's not ready. I know,
he's got to finish that.
I know, and I'll have to interview you about the experience of working with.
It was efficient.
I'm an efficient director.
He was very efficient.
I'm an efficient
I'll have
director.
to see the finished product.
Oh, you haven't even seen any. Did I ever show you any of the video?
Well, we watched it a little to make sure we got it right. So the lighting and stuff was good.
It looks good.
I'm just curious after it's all pieced together. It's just a little quickie. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. And it helps when you have good talent. So I'll interview you.
He had a plan. He's good. I came in, it was like bam, bam, bam.
When it's edited and you've seen it, I'll interview you for that show. So we'll do a show about that too.
You also get
we get an embed cut. Oh, that's right.
Oh.
So Gary pulled the audio out of Friday's Blab and sent that out as his podcast. I'll have to talk to Gary about that a little bit. Like I said, this is going to be this will be show number 5 for the audio podcast. If you guys know of anybody who is doing something cool with science fiction, maybe they're a writer, an artist, a musician, whatever it is, you can get in touch with me. We have a contact page on the Sci-Fi Maker site. So you can go to scifimaker.com/contact, I believe, and just shoot us a little message and anything cool. We're always looking for cool stuff, and we want to feature. Even if we don't get them on the show, we're going to do as much as we can to feature people who are doing cool stuff, science fiction stuff. Like I said, the point is to get more people doing it because I think it's a lot of fun. I think people who are really passionate about science fiction probably want to do that anyway. So until next time, let the adventure continue. See, that's how I end the show. I say, let the adventure.
That's how it ends.
That's how it ends.